Welcome to Bentley's Backwoods Bushcrafting. And this episode I'm going to discuss the storage of one of these aluminum soda can stoves. And I'm going to create a kind of like I guess you would call it like an emergency survival tin for this. And I'm going to be using some hot glue, a hot glue gun. I have a tin, a can, and this particularly had pineapple in it, along with the lid of it. Some alcohol that I'm going to be using as the fuel for the stove. Of course, the stove. And here's 1 ounce of fuel, some matches, and a piece of the match striker. And this is the bottle. This is a little shampoo bottle. That I used as the container for the alcohol fuel. And a bunch of dryer lint that I'm going to use as packing, I guess you would call it. It could also be used, of course, for fire starting, which is one of the reasons I chose to use it as the packing. So all I did was I took this 1 ounce bottle that used to hold shampoo, and I filled it up with the alcohol. So that gives us 1 ounce of fuel, which is plenty of fuel for one of these cans. It can run several times on that. Of course, the alcohol stove, the strikers, and I used 3 matches. I don't. What I did was I hot glued 3 matches on the inside of that can. Of course, I could put more in there, but I'm making this as kind of like an emergency survival aluminum can stove. So 3 matches is enough to for that. And the lid of the can, and I hot glued the striker on the lid so that when everything fits in there, it'll all be one in this tin can, and I'm going to seal it shut. I'm going to hot glue it shut. So as I said, I hot glued 3 matches, and what I'm going to do is place my stove inside there, and then I'm going to stuff a little bit of dryer lint in there to kind of secure it so that it doesn't move around a lot. That's not too bad. Then I'm going to take my fuel, and I'll place my fuel inside, and again I'm going to shove a little bit of lint in there to help secure that fuel so that it doesn't bounce around. There we go. Not too bad. And my dog's going crazy. Then I have the rest of this lint, which I'm going to set on top, just like that. And as I said, I have the striker hot glued to the lid, and then I'm going to hot glue this to seal it up by hot gluing it. Now, this tin can be used as something to heat up using the stove. You can heat this can up. You can put your water in it, or use it for your food or whatever. Or you can also use this as like a windbreak. It can turn upside down, and it can lay on top of the stove, and all you have to do is cut air vents in the bottom here, or air vents here, so that and then on the top you can cut a hole up here, so that when you set this on top of your stove, it has the air vents so that it won't go out. Plus you can set your item on top up here with this hole cut out, and then you can heat your stuff up. So this has not only as a storage device, it ends up being part of the kit. So we have all that in there, and let's see if we can. Ooh, that's hot. I just burnt myself with some hot glue. Didn't realize it was coming out there. Oh well. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue this. Try to get this hot glue on here before it gets. There we go. There we go. Then seal that shut. There we go. There. Now that's sealed shut. Now I have myself an emergency aluminum can stove with fuel and matches so that I can light it. And I can also use the container, the tin can, as part of the stove set. Now, I also will label it. I'll make a covering, a sheet of paper that indicates that it's my stove, and list what's all inside here. So, and there we go. We have one sealed alcohol stove emergency kit. Thank you for watching Bentley's Backwoods Bushcrafting. Please comment, subscribe, share, and like my videos.